much
Yes.
bigger than you, and he was always pushed and banged about.
That was when you were small at school. And when you were at school, it was a dude more bigger than you, and they pushed you around.
I know, but he always got pushed around.
Who got pushed around? He got pushed around, or you get pushed around?
He was like a stout fella like you, but
yes.
But
I'm a fatty man, I know strong.
It had nothing to do with the back. He didn't.
He was a strong man.
The only thing about him.
Yes.
His speech therapy was a bit wrong, and one or two things. And some people he was looked after, but some of them took the fun out of him sometimes.
Oh.
And I can't. And they used to say if they had to be careful, because his father would.
What he was, his father?
His father was well-to-do, and what it means.
Yes.
He didn't. If his boy got knocked about, it's only a secondary school. It wasn't a private school.
How was your childhood?
Well, not up and down. But like you said, it's kept a lot to itself. We didn't.
You went to school, How was the teachers to you? Well, the first time you started learning how to speak, how to do the mathematics, how to read, how to do everything.
Yeah,
how it was?
Well, it was not too bad, but
you remember your first teacher?
Yeah, but some were all right, some wasn't.
Yes, tell me something about your teachers. Something you remember, or something.
Well, I know two of them. One worked in. He was a technical brass. He was during the war years, and he had his speech therapy role.
Oh, you have a speech therapy teacher.
I said he had. And a lot of it happened during.
What about you?
What?
You at school.
Well, it wasn't too bad, but I'm just saying.
Yes, tell me something about you.
Basically, what you see now, but only a bit more backward than forward.
Well, you were intelligent. You were super intelligent because Madonna.
The knowledge was there, like you said.
So you meet the teacher, any adventure with the teacher? The teacher, how was the teachers to you? It was men, female, or what?
Yeah, we got on one, and there was one who was. Both the blokes were different, but
will they take you in the head and they smack you?
One or two were rough and ready, and one was bit of the services and all
yes.
that. But like you said, it wasn't my cup of tea. Really.
So they smack you?
Well, it'd be awkward, and then there was one.
The teachers smack peoples?
Yeah,
how they smack you?
They still had the cane, but
they had the cane in them days?
Yes.
And they cane you?
No, they never got to be, but they did one or two.
Oh, two people. Hardcore or no?
One was always getting, always, because I wore glasses, that was always...
Yes.
He was everlasting poking at you.
Yes, I heard you. Yes.
And it was a big school, but,
yes.
But a lot of it, the boys' playground was different to the girls, as you could gather.
Yes, because you were separated, the women and the girls playing one playground, and you were separated by a wall.
They didn't have really much of a playground. They only had a bit round where all the cars were. So we had the bigger playground.
Yes.
And like you said, it was rough and ready, but then there was the better work, and then the girls had the cookery class, which they used to call it under another name in those days.
Yes.
And it
cookery. Chef.
Well, it was.
Home wife.
It was something called home science or
something. Home science, yes.
It wasn't cooking.
Yes.
But it was something science.
Sewing, cooking, making food, cleaning, and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it came back from really what they learned from the war years, I should say.
Yeah, so vinegar, salt, and cleaning the things, cleaning the toilets, cleaning the things, cleaning the clothing.
They would use. They wouldn't use, that reminds me, they wouldn't use sort of cleaning materials. A lot of it was vinegar.
Yes.
Which is a certain vinegar, and basic, what the Mothers Union, and some people say they don't like that sort of thing.
Yes, but they have to work it because it was the
home science. They didn't call it what it was today. It's changed.
Yes. Yes.
If you know what I mean, it was a different sort of kettle of fish.
Yes.
But
lot of cooking.
Getting on time. It's 5 to 12.
5 to 12 already.
Yeah.
You were talking for 4 hours, no stop.
I know, but surprised where the time. I wonder why my legs are a bit cockeyed.
Well, you're standing for like long time. You're always standing up. You never sit down.
I don't know. It's because I've got the slight swelling in their leg anyway. In the
Yes.
Foot.
But you always stand up. You do a lot of exercises every day.
Yeah, because I always got the stick sometimes.
Yes.
But like I said, at the end of the day,
Yes.
no, it was something like home science or something. They had it as another different world. It still belonged in the old days. They haven't really changed much.
Yes, you're amazing. You are superior.
And then there was talking about the WI.
WI? What is the
that's the
WI?
Women's Institute.
What was it? Where it was talking about that?
Some were talking about that. In the 1950s and 60s, they were still talking about what happened during the war years, the 1930s and 40s.
Yes.
And it comes out, I think it's now called something science now.
Oh.
But it's teaching the girls how to cook and things in general.
Yes, in the 1950s, 60s, yes. Now it's more politicized. Now they have like a union with thousands of women together, like in a gun in WhatsApp.
If you talk, there's one.
Yes.
And recently I was saying to one.
Yes.
And I told her about the Women's Institute, and you know what she said?
What she said?
That she said to me that. She said, I got a word or two to tell them. And I thought, well, if the WI had gone through in the 1930s, the conditions,
yes,
still, you ain't going to change things today.
Well, yes, they can change
because
now.
The basic, you're still learning the basic, even if you change the things.
Yes.
You're still doing the basic. Even if you change the name, you're still doing some of the basic things, and they came from that period.
Yes, but
so
no.
You're not going.
Yes.
So you're not changing anything. You're really. It's like writing down on a paper, and the next minute you've got a typewriter.
Oh.
So from typewriters, you learn, and you went into electronics. They're all updates of each other.
Yes.
Doesn't matter which area you brought up with.
Yes.
You've still got to learn the basics. Doesn't matter what period it is.
It's true. They have to learn. They help each other.
It doesn't matter how much they are between one. And you know what they said? That it's even actually, I read it, saw something on my phone not long ago.
Oh.
That
you listen to the radio.
If they don't,
yes,
they want to learn, you know, these 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds anyway, to make sure that they must go into the office to check up the office and not sit on the computer all the time and do it all through that way, because what will happen is people will rely on the machine, and he said that isn't the correct way of doing it. So I did hear that just recently. In spite of the modern technology.
What it was in the radio or where? Where did you listen to that?
I've actually I saw that on one of the phones, and he said if they don't do that, he said they get back to the days when a child won't be even able to put his clothes on because he won't know what to do.
All right, but now they have schools for that.
The front door.
So they have schools now. So they have an educational school.
So they have to have this education. Otherwise, he said, one day you won't know how to put your clothes on.
They know how to do it. They go to school. What are you talking about? Yes.
And he
how
said,
to cook.
And he said, and how to see people. You pick up the phone if the electricity's not right.
Yes.
And if you don't have an office or go to an office, sooner or later you'll get clients coming over and say, well, where's your mobile then? What's that? But if you want anything done properly, you have to go up and meet the person.
Yes.
You can't just bloody chuck it over a mobile, because when I was a kid, you went to see the client, see what they want, and then you set it up from there.
Yes.
And then you got on the computer and said, well, I can get that sent over to you.
Yes.
But you got to go and meet that client. You can't just go pick up the phone and meet them. That isn't business.
Yes.
You have to go and see them, and that means you've got to have an office, or whether it's a permanent office or a temporary office.
Yes.
And that's what they're trying to teach, that people must go into the office, in an office, and a lot of them don't want that. They say they can do it on a computer, and they say that's partly wrong.
Yes, on the computer.
And it's getting to that stage, you just can't pick up your phone and say, John so-and-so. Well, you know nothing about John so-and-so at all. You don't know him personally. You only knew him from bits of his work.
Oh.
But that's not business because you're not meeting them face to face.
Okay, face to face. So why are you talking about face to face?
Because it's better to see the person.
Oh, yes.
And then go and then set it up.
Yes.
But you can't just pick up a phone and say, well, there's Sally Ann, and
Oh.
I never met her. And,
Yes.
But once you've met it, then you can go on the phone and talk.
Oh, okay. Now they can talk by WhatsApp. So
the government says we've got a lot of buildings that are offices. We could turn them into places for the immigrants, as I call them. And but at the end of the day, you've got to have an office to go.
Yes, some people have offices.
And what they're trying to do is do it without the office, so they haven't got the expense. But at the same time,
they can work from home.
That's not good business. That isn't good business. It's like the bloke that was over there next door. He's still got his office in there, but he can pick it up over the phone, but he's still got his business at say he's got in Caterham and he's at Dormansland.
Yes.
But he's still got to come to the office, and then he could do that over the phone or the computer.
Yes.
You must meet the client.
Oh yes, sometimes yes.
And I learned a lot of that. I learned through my own business.
Oh.
But that's what they're trying to do. They think they could do everything over the phone. And he said that these youngsters that's coming on now, not the ones later,
yes,
they think they could do it all over the phone and it's finished.
Oh.
But you don't learn from your clients.
Yes.
That's why you've got to go out and meet them.
Oh, meet the clients and sell stuff. Yes.
And then once you've got that set up, you can then send George Jill or whatever you add to pick up anything.
Yes.
And that's how business would be developed.
Yes, indeed.
But see, that's where I found that out only recently.
Yes.
Some people said I could pick up the phone sitting in the bedroom. Well, we don't know who you are.
Yes.
And another thing, there's too much of this cyberspace. And if you don't go out and meet the person,
cyberspace,
you don't know who that person is on your phone. And he could do a deal, and he or she could take all the money out of you. And you have
who take all the money? The business partner.
You get caught up in cyberspace.
Oh.
Because you think you're doing well. 1 minute you could be booming, the next minute it's gone.
Well, yes, but you have contracts for that. You have to have the contract and sign the contract by paper and lawyers. For that, it's the lawyers. You need the lawyers.
That's what they say, that you must go to an office first and set up so they know who you are.
To have the lawyers, the papers and lawyers, yes.
But that's what they afraid of the modern society.
Yes.
Will find this cyberspace and all the rest of it.
Yes.
Will be
that in the future.
Thousands of pounds for something that you didn't know in the first place.
That will be in the future.
But that's what they find is that you must have that. That's what they're trying to teach.
Yeah.
That once you know your client, you know who you're talking.
That will be in the future. In the future.
Yeah, I know in the future people, but today they're trying to think they can save the other way. Another thing, if it's from your own home.
Yes.
9 times out of 10.
Yes.
People will go and you say, well, who are you? I phoned you the other day on the mobile.
Yes.
But without personally, you could I trust you? Could I know who you are?
Oh.
But I only know you through your work.
All right.
So it doesn't help.
So the future.
That's the worst part of it.
What do you have in your hand?
What we're supposed to be eating.
Ah, it's a cheese.
Yes.
You catch a cheese. I never saw you catching that cheese.
No, it just.
Oh.
I said it won't worry us, but what it means is it's not good for business.
It's business. What do you wanna do?
That is life, isn't it?
True.
But no, that's what they're beginning to find. That they can get rid of the office and make money.
Well, they pay work from home. Yes, that's what they do.
She lives she's a bit doolally.
Who's Duali? Who?
One of my neighbours next door, you know.
What she does, your neighbour next door?
Well, they got the two boys, and she spends her time on the typewriter and sings the Toby.
That's good. Oh, yo, when you go out of the house, you have to tell your neighbors you want to go for a week, then you want to go for a train. And you have to tell your pastor as well. Everybody at church, you want to go to the trains and tell the dude, a very tall dude who you talking about trains all the time. Tell him as well. I want to go to the Pullman trains.
Yeah, but with me, it's history to me. But
yes, you tell them you only spend like a pound.
But what it means is,
yes,
a lot comes from the family and everything, and to me, it's an interest to somebody. It may not be nothing, but is a skill in their own rights. Or
yes,
drawing. It's not so simple as it looks.
No, it's work.
You have to have a really steady hand, a good sense, around.
Yes.
And experience, and sometimes if you really out really think when you come back you want to draw something, you can see it from experience.
Yes.
But if you sort of think from a book, that's as far as you go. You've got to get out there and
yes,
see things. And if your family's connected, well, that helps as well.
From the trains.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But, yes.
No, you got it's a lot. It takes a lot of practice and more than you think.
Yes.
And it's something where you've got to give yourself time.
Yes.
To do things as well.
True.
It's not. It's like when I was with Pat, we was always going somewhere and doing things.
Yes.
This one, that's completely different, you know. But like you said, you can't expect. And also, if you go to a place which we used to go there.
Yes.
When you can't go down there, you're lost because of the reason that you can't see the people you want or the friends you want. And,
yes.
And if you don't go to a place regularly, you lose contact with the other one.
Ah, people,
so
yes.
It can work both ways, but
yes.
to a person that never done, don't know really.
Yes.
It's one of those silly things. But when you've been doing it, it's like one of them I know there, she works on the steward. And how many years you been doing this thing?
Yes.
So, and she lived down the farm, which is not far from really Sheffield Park.
And
the old line used to go down past there. Well, she's on the farm, and so I said, well, she said, I've done about 14 years, 13, 14 years.
Wow, a long time. They had to be patient just to do that work.
The farm, and you know what she said?
What she says?
So I said afterwards, oh, I expect you'll do a lifetime. She said, I've done it so much. She said, it comes a way of life. So
yes.
she'll always be there.
Yes.
Because, and we used to give us bargains, and now of course she's on the Pullman trains now, you know, does the dining, helps to do with the dining train.
Yes.
And after a while, when I've been down there a few times, I got to know them. And you know, when you change of a thing, or
yes.
you meet somebody else, you go back and you say, I wonder what Sally did. Is Sally still down there? And your mind is
yes.
thinking, you know, I must go down that way to go and see her. And you know, once you've done about a dozen years,
yes,
those type of people, you generally finish the lifetime on it because that's the way their life is.
Yes.
In other words, when you've done so far, it comes a way of life. And of course, you see.
What way of life you talking about? The trains? Yeah, the trains drivers.
When you've done a duty for so long,
yes,
it comes a way of life.
Oh, it's true, it's true.
And they say, well, I've seen somebody said did 20 years, 30 years.
A long time.
And officially you'll say, well, don't you get fed up, keep going down there. But no, it's a way of life. It's not like if you miss somebody and you want to beat somebody new.
Yes.
You go back down there, even though you may not find them. But
yes.
But it's the way of life that how you was.
Yes.
And that's why people you say, well, there's one it was such a funny one once. One day there was a cute one. So I went down there. I thought, well, sometimes I know. So when I got down, I thought I'd have a cup of tea. So I got on the cup of tea, got on the Buffy car, and one looked at it. He looked at me, and I looked at him. Anyway, so after a while, he said, "Oh, I see you're around."
Oh.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yes.
So sometime after.
Yes.
I said, well, I'll tell you a few places where I did. And do you know what it was?
What it was?
A local policeman.
You were a policeman?
He was the policeman that used to work in Whiteleaf.
Oh, Whiteleaf, yes.
And he seen me doing work.
Yes.
Doing the roundabouts and gardening and all that.
Gardening, yes.
And you know what he said? He said, a long time no see, he said. So I said, where are you living now then? So
yes.
he said so and so. And he said, I said,
where he lives now?
And where he was living, and he was working the Buffy cars.
Yes.
Working, you know, on the weekends. And when I showed him to Pat, he
yes.
said, cool, he said, I can remember him when I was down when I was working in the police force.
Oh.
And it was local, and their head office, of course, was down at Oxted here.
Yes.
In those days, that was like regular police, see.
Oh, he used to be a policeman over here.
Policeman, see.
Yes.
And he said, no, he said, I live down near the coast, he said, but I always come up the Bluebird every week, because
yes.
I love to be there. So he works the Buffy cars down.
Oh.
And I got to know him, and he said, good God, I said, long time no see then.
Yes.
And there was a hell of a lot went just before last Christmas, and I got a list, and
yes.
There's a lot of new ones.
Mm.
And I thought, I wonder if he's gone, you know, passed on another one.
Yes.
But what a funny thing, isn't it? Go down to something like that and run into somebody, but they're getting a far and few between now. But
the policeman who knows you, policemen have good memory.
But like you said, isn't it funny how he remembered, isn't it?
Because good memory.
My wife, and we all laughing. I said, what made you come up to do a job like that? You know, just a matter of interest. Like you said, if some of you never see them again, but there's a group that, you know, you're never quite sure.
Yes.
And the things what I had with Pat.
True.
I couldn't stop bloody laughing.
Aye.
Because Pat used to say, oh God.
Yes.
That was strange. And then another time she got friendly with some through her cats and dogs protection.
Yes.
And that's how
cats and dogs protection.
That's how all the interest came from.
Yes.
But strange, isn't it? Just from that.
Well, life.
Life, innit? But
life.
Fancy, innit? Meeting somebody like that.
Yes, meeting somebody like that. Yes, true.
You know, but I was told generally.
Yes.
That when you've done so many years on those things, that's your life. You never.
Yes.
You just finish it off, sort of thing.
Because
you love the company, you want to get away from things, and it just suits you.
Yes. It's life, anyways.
It's strange, isn't it? Run into somebody like that.
Yes, long time.